I'm the RBIM guy. A lot of people, they just heard about me, but they don't know me. So I'm just, sending a message out there. I'm a researcher, do modeling and stuff like that. And some people go, what's that? Well, I don't know. Well, I studied the golf swing. I've been doing that for about 4 years now. And when I'm studying the golf swing, I used to choose a role model called Mike Olsen. He was hitting it really long. And I wanted to study that because one of the things I was observing, right off the bat was that what he was doing and was teaching didn't match. It was a discrepancy, right? It didn't match. It was different, right? Whew, this difference. Why is there a difference? That's, appealed to me, right? I would like to know what's the difference. So I researched. I told Hans, he's a guy who wants to, be a pro, about this, and he changed his swing and all that stuff to, whatever I was finding when I was researching. And he now displays the Mike Olsen swing pattern motion. And he's the only one out there in the world. No Mike Olsen student, Mike Dunaway, Steve Pratt, Swish, Jacob Allen, they don't actually match the motion pattern Mike Olsen himself was doing. They do match what he was teaching, but that's different, right? So they still hit it a long way. I don't disagree that they hit it long. And I've been banned from Mike Olsen Facebook group, by the way, because I was asking, bad questions for them. Because you can't question what Mike Olsen was saying and telling them, because that's the law, that's the accurate, that's the thing, I know what it is they say, because Mike Olsen was telling them or whatever. And I disagree on that. Back in the day, NLP was this, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It's a technology that was studying Milton H. Erickson, and a lot of people want to study Milton H. Erickson because he was doing hypnosis and he did fantastic change for his clients. So he got a lot of students coming down like, hey, come on down here, yeah, I want to study what Michael did, or in this case, Milton H. Erickson is doing, wow. So they come into, the studio, with Milton. And Milton was looking at them and was like, oh, right, you're here to learn hypnosis, and you will find your ways into the deepest trances you ever, know about. And as you close your eyes and deep trancing down into nothingness, you will find yourself in the blissful eternity of nowhere here. And they go like, whoa, people go. So it was hypnotizing, and people were sitting there with, all eyes. And the people in the class, could do some good stuff, no doubt. But then this guy, John Green, and he was thinking, I've been studying this patterns of language and all this stuff, and this guy Milton's really good. So he traveled down there and started what Milton was doing with his colleague at the time. And he was able to, start to replicate and mimic and all that stuff, the patterns Milton H. Erickson was doing. And then a process called sorting and categorizing to find out what actually produces the same result. And once they found that, they can teach that in kind of model or template, as I like to call it, and then transfer the skills so they can reach the same result Milton H. Erickson was actually doing. But here's the thing: they also able to do when they teach the model, you're able to do it faster. And the model itself was able to teach skills and also better skills because you're actually replicating what the model himself is doing. And that's different. I'm in this. I'm like a Vulcan, Spock, the Spock mind. I speak the Spock mind, a Spock mind. The logic of the Vulcans is really enduring nuances of logic. So if you have several attitudes, what kind of attitude do you refer to, right? A lot of people can handle that because, and I don't like logic normally because a lot of people talk about things and debate things, and you can debate everything. People say I'm dumb and I'm an idiot, I'm an asshole, whatever, because they can't be, stupid and all that stuff because they tell me I'm stupid, and if I'm that stupid, I'm so stupid I don't understand that I'm stupid. That's the logic, by the way. I'm so stupid, I don't understand that I am that stupid. So I'm a little bit autistic, I think. I don't understand that kind of logic they tell me, Because if they can't do what Mike Olsen himself is doing, they don't do what Mike Olsen is doing, period. And you can quote me on that. And it doesn't mean I don't have a special judgment, but that's how it is. And I've been having people telling me if I'm trying to do things and trying to tell me what to do. Okay, I try to do what they tell me, and I could do that. And they said, well, try to do this instead. And whatever they try to tell me makes it harder, not easier or more complicated. So I tell them, well, whenever you're telling me, it's making it harder, and they say, well, you're wrong. And I say, I'm following your instruction. I'm pretty good at following instruction, by the way. And it doesn't produce the result I want. So I started to, a long time ago, to research a lot of things that people telling me didn't match. So I'm a, mismatch guy. The guy that mismatches, I'm singing, doing the Michael Jackson. Ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. Pretty good, right? Hmm? If I only could sing, that would be, and dance. But I'm too dumb to understand that, so who cares, right? I'm the RBIM guy. What do I know? And that's the thing about assumptions and beliefs in life. And what I've been trying to do is to find a way to learn a skill. If you look at the talent code, right? That's a book about from David Boyle, right? Doyle, I think, Doyle or Boyle. The Irish guy confuses me all the time. And he's studying a lot of hotbeds, he calls talent, where the people were really doing things that produce world-class talent. Wow, they can now be a goalie. Catch the ball. And or they can shoot a lot faster, or they play tennis a lot better. And a lot of people, they have this kind of teacher, like in Russia, this old lady who was teaching. Every Russian lady you see on the tennis tour, she's been teaching. In the United States, there's a lady who sings. Wasn't that good, maybe? No, but she's actually teaching how to sing nowadays. And a lot of people, I know that a lot of people get this wrong, believe that people are talented. Maybe they have a singing ability, but that doesn't. You don't sing in the bathroom, oh baby, and then you go out on YouTube and tape that on YouTube and go, wow, you're now a hit success. No, that doesn't happen. Well, you can get popular, but then you have to take a singing class to learn how to use the diaphragm and all that stuff and save your voice and vocal cord and all that. It's painful, to sing like that. You get, you can't talk and all that shit. So it's a lot of hard work to be able to sing correctly. And if you're going on tour, that's important. So a lot of people think that you need to have talent and then you get success, with YouTube and all that shit. No, it's not. It's hard work, right? So I applied a teaching approach that I've been using for a time and started to refine on. Then I use it for my golf swing. So I know a lot of people complain about my golf swing. It's horrible. I agree. It totally sucks. You look at my videos a few years back. It's horrible. And I have a lot of fun with it. People, who are you to tell us that our swings up? Well, because I'm teaching Hans, this guy Anderson. It's not a relationship with H.C. Anderson with his storytelling and kids' stories and all that. No, it's not. There's no Emperor's New Clothes here. I've been teaching him what I've been finding in my research about Mike Austin. He's able to do that. So how do you guys explain that? Please try to explain that. Please, DigiBots, try to explain that. Please. Disprove me. Is Hans doing the Mike Austin? He is. Disprove me if he doesn't. And if you're able to do that, you should be able to swing like him. And that's what people tell me, things that I think it's funny and hilarious. My swing sucks, yes. It's been sucking for about 20 years. I have no issue with that. I'm not, so what I'm doing now is to research, my research of model approaches to tempo of the golf swing. So now I'm applying that to my golf swing action. And it's improving. I'm changing things. It's getting better. So if I'm able to do my golf swing pattern motion, in this spring or this summer, for example, I don't know if that's going to happen. I haven't done it before, so I don't know. So what will people then say? Will my Austin students come to me and ask me what I'm doing and teaching? No, most likely not. You see, a lot of people believe what Mike Austin was telling them is the truth. That's the same. That's the, gospel of the things. Milton Erickson, he tried to teach people to be better, and he just took notice of what this guy on NLP was doing. They were able to replicate and identify what he was doing, and to teach one of the things. One of the things I mentioned on my website is like, if you're going to study and be a chess player, one of the things you can do is to study position play in chess, about 50 hours memorizing. For 50 hours, you're memorizing different positions in the chessboard. So you're not actually playing chess, you're just training your memory to memorize positions to play chess. And people go, why should I do that? Shouldn't I learn to play chess? That's what you're doing. That's a different model. But if you do that, your rating of a chess player, you have a lot of rating, how good you are as a chess player, will skyrocket. So if you take a beginner of chess and teach them 50 hours of video and how to memorize and position the game of chess, they will become a lot better chess player than those guys who learn to play chess. That's how it works. And a lot of people disagree with me, sure, but if you do that, you will find that what's happened. You need to have this kind of memorization of positions of the gameplay, so you understand how the pieces works and how the gameplay works and all this other things, opening theory and all that stuff, and middle play, end play, and all that. You don't have a memorization for that, you're going to have a hard time learning that. That's the same thing in the golf swing. You need to have some kind of reference in the golf swing. So I've been working a lot with feel and pressure points. Feel and pressure points for me is like, I have this feeling of this kind of angle, or I have this feeling of my, whatever pelvis is in. And I have to, practice that somehow. So I practice imperfect. I want my practice for about 6-7 weeks now indoors has been about practicing not being able to do it. I'm practicing variation. I'm not able to do the motion yet. But whatever practice I'm doing here leads me to have that kind of motion, because I have to educate my own body and mind to be able to do this consistently. So I know it works because Hans is able to do that. I've been teaching Larry, another amateur, and he's started to be able, and he's 67 years old. And he started to be able to hit it a lot longer, but he's not being consistent, because as I teach him to point him into discovering this kind of feel and pressure point. So once he starts to feel this kind of pressure, it's like riding a bike. Can you ride a bike? Stupid question. Yeah. Okay, I put your bike on this kind of board that's this thick, and we put it up between two hills, so you have about 10 yards of drop to the ground. Can you still ride your bike over that board? That's this. Normally, yes, if it's on the ground, you have no problem. But the problem is when you start to add 10 yards of height to fall, if you start to miss, then a lot of people can't do it because they get nervous, fear of falling and stuff like that, and they can't focus on what they need to be doing there when they ride the bike over that. So you can ride the bike. The question is, what kind of context can you ride the bike the way you want to ride it? Same thing with the golf swing. If you can't use the golf swing to hit the ball long and accurate, as I teach with consistency, then you can go out and play and maybe get a variance there. So as I was getting a variance, I don't know, I couldn't hit the green for 120 yards. I was thinking, well, what's going on? What can't I hit? So I looked into Jack Nicklaus. He was a good guy, a good player. So I found an interview with him, he explained something. I was, no, this kind of makes sense. I applied that kind of strategy, which I call a strategy. And I applied that for my, decision making on when I was going to hit into green, and it worked. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Told Hans, he was able to do it also. And I was like, cool. I modified that since, and I'm not telling you guys what it is. And I might never will. That's the secret. It'll take me that to, to Ben Hogan one day and say, this is the guy here, cool. Yeah, it is. It's kind of cool. Right? I'm just too dumb for myself, right? I don't understand how dumb I am. Well, that's why I can't. So I'm a little bit autistic, I think. So a model or a template is different than whatever people or system teaching it. And I'm not teaching what I'm doing because that's too hard for me. I don't even try because I can't do that. So, but I also know when I'm looking at a teaching style or instruction style or whatever you call it, when I'm trying to learn the golf swing, I know that I need to educate my body about the pressure points and all that stuff. So that's what I've been educating. If I can do this for about 2 or 3 months, and then I find out how I need to move my body to create this kind of impact, create this kind of swing pattern, and I'm able to do it that way with this spring. When I start hitting ball on range in about 3 months. It's still winter. I hate it, but hey, if I hate it so much I can move down south and I can start hitting balls down south because I can move to a different, city. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I do it, maybe not. Kind of like it up here in the north. It's a little bit colder, it's a little bit, free air and all that stuff. Living in a city, it's not for me. That's beside the point. So I've been educating my body. So when I start to identify how to do my kind of golf swing, I do that because I educated myself how to not do it. And those people in the RBM that read my website, they know that's not another pattern. What's there, what's not there. And that's how you know, I had a a student, and she, you know, been searching for 18 years of her perfect experience in life. And she was sitting there and she was really afraid, you know, afraid, fear, adrenaline was like this. She was shaking. That's how fearless, you know, not fearless, afraid she was. It's kind of strange phenomenon, if you ask me. Is she, you know, seriously? Why should you be afraid of that? Because she'd been everywhere. She'd been disappointed, because she could never get past the fear. And never, whatever Indian guru or Krishnamurti or Buddhistic detector or a line of the self, whatever you call it, they couldn't do it to her or with her or whatever you call it. They couldn't change or transform her. So I was putting her up on stage, running, not telling people to go on paper, prompt on the students, live audience, you know. And here's the thing, that's what I do. When I work with dyslexia, I can take some dyslexic up on stage and work with them there. I've done that for 1 hour. I had this dyslexic kid, put him on stage, work with him for 5 minutes, could read and spell perfectly out there. Started buying books, he didn't have dyslexia anymore. And I had this, you know, professor reading that story and said, that's impossible, that's not, you know, within reason. And I know it works. That's why it has no reason, because whatever the professor's doing in the dyslexic field doesn't work the way I'm doing things. So, and they don't come and ask me, by the way. That's the point there. So that's the thing here about, you know, change the information. So anyway, I applied that not NLP concept for her. So her fear was gone in like 10 minutes. She had no fear. She was sitting there calm as a, you know, calm as a bear. And bears are really wild, by the way, but that's just when they have humans in close proximity or something like that. Then they get reason. I don't understand, why do bears get, you know, so angry at people? It could be that they're shooting them. And back in the day when they were hunting bears, and a long time ago, bears told one another, one bear told another, when you see a human, get very angry and kill them, because they're very bad people, they kill us. And bears were like, should I really do that? Because they look kind of, you know, fragile and stuff. Yes, it's good that they're fragile, we can eat them then, because they're really bad at people. And they go like, oh yes, they shoot us and hunt us and eat us. Ooh, that's not good, no. So that's how the bear, you know, got so angry about when people are really close to them. So that's my theory anyway. I have no idea if it's correct or not, but you know, I just assume that's true. You know. So whatever goes on in life, we have to find a way to make it work. If we don't, well, we run into trouble sooner or later. Because a lot of people tell you stuff that doesn't work. I'm telling you that you have to discover all this by yourself with this RBIM. I can't tell people what to do because I can't teach you that. That's too hard for me. I can never point you out, and if you do your own applied work, start to discover, this is what I'm thinking, this is kind of my behavior. This is kind of my experience, this is kind of my reality, this is kind of how I focus my mind, and then I have this kind of experience that everything else is just, you know, not there anymore, and this is just what's there right now when I'm doing this, for example. A lot of people will talk to me and say the time disappears, and I say, no, that doesn't disappear, it wasn't there in the first place. Like in the Matrix movies, it's no spoon. You only have to realize it, you know, you're only bending yourself, because there is no spoon there. And people go like, what? There was a spoon there, I saw it in the TV. No, it was digital enhanced. Well, what it was digital, you know, put there by some, you know, computer, we said. They put ones and zeros in a particular order, and then you have a spoon that bends or not bends, and whatever. And people go, what? I don't really understand it. Hey, this Asian Buddhist, you know, culture, they understand this kind of nonsense, you know, nonsense. There's no sense, so that means it's sense. Kind of makes sense to me. That's how I think, anyway. And I didn't want to. Talent code measure the whole bands, right? When I was looking at this, you know, learning strategy, I found that if you train so you're not doing it perfectly, you will be able to end up doing it perfectly. But then you have gone through a lot of variations, so you can isolate that and really be able to do it, just do it, like riding a bike, whatever it is. That's what I've been finding. I haven't been able to put it in a package yet. You know, this is what you do, and this is how you do it, and that's what happens when I just been tracking my own cold swing progress, and it's happening to me because one of the things when you can ride a bike, guess what? The brain moves the information in here to some other place. That's why you have a hard time remembering. How did I learn to ride a bike? I can do it. Yes, I can do it. But wait a minute. How did I learn to ride a bike? I don't know. It's a mystery. Let's call in House or some secret agents. Did you know that a lot of people in the golf industry want you to cover the ball? No one can see it. They don't want you to move your head, because if you move your head, that's a bad thing. And they teach you like this, right? And look at Tiger Woods. He's really good at this. He comes in with the driver and the impact, and then his left side goes up here, and the shoulder goes right up here. And then he has no time left and space left to hit the ball, and he hit it. Sometimes he hit it good, and sometimes he hit it just all over the map. And that's a golf swing system, if you like, that doesn't make it easier to hit long and win majors. It's actually a system that makes it harder for him to win majors and competitions. And I have no clue why he's doing that. But I'm too stupid. I'm just artistic, I'm a little slightly artistic. I just have this kind of thinking. Anyhow, whatever it is, I don't know, I'm too stupid to understand it. That's what people tell me. You're so stupid. Oh yeah, I'm stupid. Then I don't know, I'm that stupid. No. That's logic in its finest exquisition of rights. Anyhow, if you have any questions about this RBIM stuff, my modeling of my course in golf swing, or something else, I might tell you exactly what you need to be doing. But most likely I will tell you something that sends you in the direction you can start to discover this yourself. If you want the secret stuff and the straight up answers, you won't get that from me. Because I don't believe in secrets. That's the first thing. I believe in observation. I also believe in, Sherlock Holmes, doing some deduction work, figuring things out yourself. Kind of cool, I think. And once you're doing that, you find out you can enjoy, playing golf more, or enjoy life more, or whatever. I'm too depressed now. I'm going to get a towel from them so I don't panic. You know that guy who wrote, the Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy? He had to spend like a year to get really nuts before he could write that stuff. And he's just not normal. Writers are not normal. They live in different realities, as I like to say. And I love Sherlock Holmes as the new version that Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat is doing. It's a wonderful experience, watching Sherlock Holmes like that. It's hilariously great. And Doctor Who. Doctor, I need you, so if you have the time, come back and visit me again. I will get you that coffee, and we'll have a great time chatting. Till next time.